Hi everyone, it's Lavinia and welcome. I am participating in Inktober 2025. We're coming towards the end of the month. I have here this calendar that I got from a kit from Minutes of Zen, which also included the bijou tiles. And I am going to be drawing today's prompt on the compilation page, as well as here this little bijou tile. And I'm doing something different today. I'm also going to be drawing it and showing you how I draw it in my journal page rather than showing it first here and then going here. However, I did add it to the calendar, so I will show you what it looks like. It's called Owlpeek. And I already colored it in using some of my pastel pencils. So it's a cute little design called Owlpeek. And I thought I would show you how I draw it here, because sometimes when I draw it in my journal, I add embellishment. So as a bonus, I'm going to show you another Zentangle called Henna Drum, because I had an idea that I wanted to add it to this particular Zentangle. When I draw on my Zentangle bijou tiles, I just draw the basic Zentangle without any embellishment, without any additional color. And here on I was thinking of adding maybe that henna drum as a variation here, but I do really want to keep what's on the compilation page, just those Zentangles. So I thought I would show you here in my journal page how I'm going to add that embellishment. So let's go ahead first to the bijou tile and let's break it down. I'm going to come a little bit closer so that you can see. I do have a variety of different pens, my tortillon, my graphite pencil, my eraser. I don't know that I'll be needing the eraser today, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to be using my Artist Loft 0.5 to draw it on the bijou tile. I think I'm going to do it here on a diagonal because I think you can draw it either perpendicular or vertical. So I thought, let's draw it on the diagonal and see what it looks like. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line straight across. You can use pencil if you'd like, and I'm just going to draw a Z. So however long or wide you want to do it or draw it is fine. They don't have to be. So we're going to be drawing two, one on top of the other, but they don't have to be the same measurements at all. And then I'm just going to come across here to get that Z. And then I'm just going to connect those 2 points. So that's the first part. And then we're just going to give this an aura. So just coming inside that triangle and giving it an aura. Again, there's no mistakes in Zentangle, so if it touches, don't worry about it. And then we're just going to draw some perpendicular lines. Like that. And then we're going to draw 2 spirals, one on each side, but they're going to go in opposite directions. So if and I want to come out just a little bit further than the points. So maybe this spiral will look like that. And then I just want to go in the opposite direction. So if it's easier for you to turn the tile, then go ahead and do that. And I'm just going to have that spiral go that way. And then we're just going to connect. So I'm just going to come around here and connect that. And then just come on around here and connect that. So there's that little owl peak. Looks like perhaps a little owl face. And then I'm just going to draw another one. So this would be the top of my Z. You could draw 2 triangles if you wanted to. You could do that too. So perhaps maybe you want to, draw 2 triangles, and they don't have to be the same length. So maybe we'll go ahead and make this bottom one just a little bit bigger. And then you're going to add that aura. Inside both of those triangles. So if drawing 2 triangles is easier for you, go ahead and do that. Again, the artist that created this, she has different size top and bottom, so don't worry about that. I'm going to go ahead and add the lines. So doesn't matter how many you put in or what distance they're at. Zentangle is all about patterns. All right, and now I'm going to add the spirals. You could go the opposite way and maybe that'll be what I'll do. So rather than having it swirl from the top on down, maybe I'll do the opposite. Let's see what that looks like. And I'm just going to, whoops. So now I want to have it go this way. And then I'm just going to take it from this point, come on around like that. And this too, you know, if it's easier for you to turn it around, go ahead and do it that way. There's no right or wrong. And so this is Owlpeek. So let's say you wanted to draw it vertically, you can do that, or again, horizontally. Or if it's on a diagonal, that's what it looks like. So a really cute Zentangle. So I wanted to show you what my thought was. Maybe I'll come a little bit further up. So I wanted to use my brown Micron PN pen for this one, just because the owls are Owlpeek. So I'm just going to draw. This is usually what I do when I'm in my journal. Just kind of draw that. And so I'm going to draw that first one. I want to come a little bit further down, and maybe I'll just draw one and show you what my plan was. So like that. Going to add, well, it's a little bit of a wonky aura, but that's okay. Adding these. All right, and then we're just going to add that swirl, the first one. And then the second one is going to go the opposite way. And then I'm just going to connect those 2 points by going over that curve. And then I thought I wanted to add my embellishments. So I'm going to add henna drum. Henna drum, you're going to start with like a half circle there, and then another one. Or placing that aura. You're going to fill in this one here, this bottom one. And then what I do is I draw a line, give it an aura. Draw another line, give it an aura. And depending, you know, how much room you have, you can put more. But now that I have this aura and these lines, what I'm going to do, so from here, I'm just going to draw like a little wave. And perhaps this one might come on down that way. This wave here. Okay, then we're going to give it a couple of little flicks. And then just going to give it a couple of little dots. Okay, that is henna drum. Isn't it? That's a really pretty Zentangle. And actually, I'm sorry, to complete it, you're going to give it an aura. So you're just going to follow So it's not a complete circle. You're following the frill, so to speak, of those petals. Now that is henna drum. So that's a really pretty one. I could probably add one down here as well. But I think I also want to add my spheres, because if you've been following me, you know that I like to add them in. So this is usually how I make my, when I embellish what I like to do. So, and then of course you can add graphite or color it in, but this is Owlpeek. So I hope you definitely give this a try. You know, give your own embellishments, put your own embellishments in there. You can probably, you know, if you wanted to add additional striping or ink in some additional areas, you could go ahead and do that. But let's go ahead now and get to the compilation page, and let's see where we're going to put Owlpeek. Okay, here's our page, and I have quite a bit of room. So I think maybe I might add 4. I'm wondering how it would look like with 2 this way, maybe 1 on each side here. Let me grab my black micron pen, and I think maybe I'll add it. Let's just go ahead and add it here and see what it looks like. So, and then I may give it an aura. Again, let's just put pen to paper and see what happens. So maybe I will start here like this with that first Z, and then just connecting that. Giving it that aura. I'm going to add that striping. You could probably put, you could probably ink it in, but this is the basic of the Zentangle. Right, then I'm going to add and trying to come a little bit further out than the 2 points. Just like that. And then I want to come the other way. So these spirals are a little bit closer and not the same distance, but that's okay. So I'm just going to come on around here like that. Okay, so that is Owlpeek, the first one. Let's go ahead and put another one, and maybe I'm going to turn this upside down because maybe I will do just the triangle method. Let's see. Maybe it can make it longer. I think I would like to come closer to the border here. So this one is a little bit thinner. Going to give it that aura. So definitely play around with the Zentangles. Try different ways. I think you'll like that. And now I'm just going to add that striping. Okay, now we're going to add those spirals. And we can have it go the same way or the opposite way. I think I kind of like it going the opposite way. So this one was facing down, so let's go ahead and have this face up. And then this one will be facing down. Again, they're not even, but that's okay. Now we're going to come to the point, come on over and connect. Okay, just like that. And I think I want to, do I want to maybe put another one? I want to fill up some space. Let's go ahead and maybe put one over here. I just have to be aware of where this is going to, might be a little bit too close. But I'm going to, let's do it this way. I want to add one. Let's see what it looks like going the opposite way. Give it that aura. Add that striping. This one is a little bit wider. I thought maybe let's try something different by giving it a little bit more space in between. Give it that spiral. And let's connect. It's not too bad. I mean, at least it's filling up some space. Maybe I could add an orb in here. Let's do that. And maybe there's a little bit more room here, so I'll add another one. And then I'm going to ink that in. Okay, I like that. And I could probably continue and build on, but I like that juxtaposition. Is that the right word? All right, let's go ahead and grab the graphite and let's see how we're going to shade this in. Let's add first, I think, some here on the outside of these triangles. This is my 4B pencil. I think I'm going to add it to the outside of the triangles as well as here on the inside and make the triangle actually stand out. Going to put some around the border. Inside. And maybe just a little bit here. All right, let's grab the tortillon and see what it starts to look like. I was thinking maybe I should have put an aura around all. I could still do that. If I decide to add the aura, I can still do that. It doesn't matter that there's graphite. I meant to add the music, but I forgot. Maybe I'll put some here underneath where that swirl would be. Put that in. And maybe underneath here and the top side of the swirl. Now I have graphite already here, so it's not like I need to add any additional, but you can if you want to make it darker. That's looking really nice. I do like the way that the triangles pop with that graphite. It really does make a difference. All right, folks, I think that is it for this particular Zentangle demonstration. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, it's Owlpeek. Have fun with it. Add the embellishments if you'd like, and make it your own. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Take care. I will see you in the next one. Bye.